And how cool is this? This is Hylton and Max have come down to say hi and look at cars.
Hi guys.
He bought my Toyota Crown, so he's the proud owner of that. And for some
Very proud indeed.
coincidence, he happens to have more Toyotas.
One or two.
Yeah. And he's actually come here with a smile, so it wasn't too bad of a deal.
That's a good car too, though. There's very little rust in that car.
It's actually
Yeah.
surprisingly
Very nice
solid.
car.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
It really is one of my regrets, but as you can see, one thing goes, something else fills the space fairly quickly.
Especially when it comes to Toyotas. I've had this one a long time. I think it was originally probably from Australia.
Yeah.
Because it's that clean.
Definitely not a UK car.
No, probably not. It's been in storage over here with a friend of mine for about 7 years. So,
Wow.
and picked it up and we're
So
using it a bit.
What year is this?
81. I think.
81.
Yeah.
And it's this clean.
Just clean. Yeah.
Just to demonstrate, if you have a look underneath here, it's just...
I need to check that date. I might have that wrong, but it's very early car. Have a look inside.
Yeah, I will. I'll come around the other side. Whoa. Look at this. I'm sure there are certain militant groups in Africa will be looking at this, giving you some offers soon.
That's an understatement.
So what's this? Is this tells you what angle
what
you're
angle
in.
you're at, and it's got all sorts of gadgets, some of which I don't even know what they do. Smooth.
Well, smooth's an understatement.
Just tips over. It sits nicely on the motorway at about 65, 70 mile an hour, just over 2,400
Yeah.
RPM. But that's about it. Doesn't want to go much quicker than that.
What a fantastic car. And that's a straight six diesel?
Yeah, straight six naturally aspirated diesel, non-turbo.
Non-turbo. So no, it just...
Plods along. It could do with a turbo really. On the hills and that, you've got to judge them, you know. You need momentum,
Yeah.
but otherwise.
Look at the door panels on this thing. That's amazing. Oh, well done. I think you did a really good buy when you got this. I don't think you're going to find another one original like this.
Now, everywhere I go with this car, people are quite surprised at how clean it is.
No wonder. Can we have a look at the engine bay quickly?
Yeah, sure.
We're a little bit under a time constraint, so we'll keep it short, but let's open, yeah. Let's see, there we go. It's quite heavy up. Wow. Look how clean that is.
Yeah, look at the firewall too.
Yeah. What's the mileage on this thing, you know?
280 odd thousand.
So really, it has mileage on it.
Oh yeah, it's been very well looked after. And probably dry stored, you know.
Yeah, this has to be dry climate car. There's no way this has lived its life in England, because it would just be a brown mess in here.
Depends when it came, you know. I've got a 40 series at home that's as clean as this, if not cleaner.
Really?
But I brought it in from New Zealand in late 90s, 99, 98, 99.
Yeah.
And it's always lived indoors ever since, so it looks like this. It's fantastic.
So you're quite an avid collector of Toyota.
I have a few.
You have a few. We're not going to mention the amount because his wife might watch this and we will get into trouble.
Indeed.
But man, we're keeping this short and sweet, but thank you so much, Hylton, for coming down. Really nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's been great. We've known each other long enough.
Yeah, it's one of those relationships you get through cars where you talk to each other, send messages and whatnot, but you never actually get together. So it's a real pleasure to have him over today. Nice to meet Max as well.
We met another family of mad car enthusiasts yesterday through the same sort of process, you know.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, buying parts and that, and then went into a shed and it was full of old cars. It was fantastic.
Yeah. I can imagine Max kind of got the bug from you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, Max has got a 105.
Yeah, well, I wasn't really, we weren't allowed to think about any other car when we grew up, so it was Toyota everything.
Toyota everything,
so I've
yeah?
had an 80 series, 100 series, and now I'm in a 105, and my brother drives a 70.
Nice.
So it just runs in the family.
You like the Crown as well, don't you?
Oh, the Crown's awesome. I've never driven a car that turns so many heads.
Everyone loves it as well. It's
Yeah.
I don't know what it's kind of like a people's factor with that car, isn't
yeah,
it?
people wave, people smile. people to come and stop you at fuel stations and ask if you'll sell it, which is always a no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know, it really gets some attention.
Well, it makes me happy to know the car is appreciated and in the right ownership.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you sell a car.
You don't know
I know
what it
I
really
try
is.
not to attach myself to anything, but
Yeah.
if you sell something and then you end up seeing it languishing in the
no, it's
barn or
awful.
something, it's just, yeah.
I really struggle to sell them.
But you almost got emotional when you saw the 404. It brought you straight back to your childhood, didn't it?
Yeah. My dad had one.
And you beat it around in South Africa?
Yeah. I used to drive that when I was 7 years old, you know, on the dirt roads around where we lived. My dad used to go to the pub and I'd drive him home.
Good times, good times. Oh, this is great. All right, well,
Cool.
thanks so much for showing me. That's great.
It's a pleasure.
Hope you guys have a good trip back to Jersey.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll have some more. We'll see Hylton again, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Really looking forward to it. And Max,
Soon.
you're always welcome
We'll
as
be back
well.
over soon. Bring something different next time.
I think Max, he could do with a 404.
Well, my bank account doesn't have enough for a 404 at the moment.
Fair enough.
No, I just
It's
bought
the
boat.
space too, you know.
Yeah, it's the
It's
space.
the
It needs to be
space.
stored.
Yeah. That's our plan. We're gonna have a big shed, then we'll.
I need to behave, stop spending money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a micro lift.
seat there, still the original
It's
toolkit.
really
Yeah.
wow. Look at the plastic. It's not even cracked.
No. It's always been stored indoors. This
It has to, because if this was out in the sun, that would have been bad. Well, I'm gonna have a mini
Look at the dash.
cruise. Yeah. Always had the dash cover on. That's probably
Yeah.
that's probably from the dealer. That is.
Probably, yeah.
Very modern for 82. Digital clock.
That's a old radio.
And you can't touch this stuff. It's just.
No, it's got to stay. It's just everything works. Literally, the only thing that's missing is there's another cigarette lighter in there. It's in here, but the little end's missing off it, so I've got to find one.
That is not your biggest problem in the world.
I've got.
You're in a good spot if that's your biggest problem.
We've got others, old ones, you know, we can part out, so there's bound to be one in one of them.
Wow! Even has the embossing on there. That's so cool. I have never seen that. That's all the ones I've
Normally always
seen.
bugging them. It's quite sprightly too for a naturally aspirated diesel.
Well, it's got the power. No, you don't
Plenty
need
of
to put
torque.
it. You don't need the turbo in here, really.
Look, if you were doing a hell of a lot of motorway stuff, it would make all the difference. But
Good. Well, that's as far as I go. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for
Have
having
a
us.
safe trip home.
cheers,
And
thanks for having us.
I don't even have to say if you break down because I know it wouldn't. It's a Toyota.
We'll see you soon, Mitka, for sure.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.